The NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. On the sidelines, it's David Aldridge. And so the tip-off, it's Miami. Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. James in the high post. The shot's good. Gilgeous-Alexander making the play.
And making it look easy. LeBron overwhelms the defense inside.
Now here is George. A shot. Shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
And it's always nice to get the easy look inside for your first points of the game.
Craig, seems like we always talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's offensive side. But when it comes to deflections and steals, his defense, he's one of the best.
Yeah, his two-way ability is sometimes overlooked in the mainstream media. But people in the know how good of a defender he is.
George, no good. George with no one around. And it's Miami with another.
And George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot player. Measuring the shot before receiving the pass, you can't guard that.
Now, here is George. That shot is off. Good D by Gilgeous-Alexander. And their offense is really clicking right now.
Playing with a lot of energy and really taking it to the defense.
From deep three-point land, rebound Boston.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Now in the game for your home team, number 1.
About 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. And here's George. James with some nice D. And stolen by Yao. Here's George. And George with the stuff.
When holding nothing back there, George gives the dunk his all.
From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
From deep, George. That's good for his third bucket. Now 3 for 6 from the field.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's George. From deep, LeBron. And he's good on the 3-ball. James has got 5 now.
There's the competitive fire of LeBron, getting those 3 points right back. Always quick with an answer.
George double team. 3-pointer. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Miami. Kicks it out to James. Screen by James. On the wing, Thompson. Off target with his 3.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Here's George. Good, and the assist goes to Williamson.
The assist.
9 points for Paul George.
I love seeing George be so assertive down low. Certainly doesn't lack confidence. An accomplished scorer.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. 5 points in the game.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. If he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Oh, wow! What a great move inside.
That is incredible.
And putting his explosive athleticism on full display there. George is capable of some highlight reel dunks.
Well, with his skill and confidence with the ball, if you put him in position, he'll reward you.
Stolen by Thompson. And that does it for the first quarter. Miami leads by 4. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with
The away team, 11.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Miami.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And I also like how they've trusted one another with the rock, creating shots by keeping the ball moving.
Shot clock at 5. Here's George. Duncan with the block.
He's the defensive anchor for this team. Duncan excels at reading shooters and then altering their shots.
Thompson. Zion Williamson grabs the miss. George with the ball. He's picked up by Wall. Duncan with the block. And they're able to recover. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Miami leading by 4. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It goes on Jason Tatum.
The feel LeBron has for the game, unreal. Whatever situation he finds himself in, he always seems to have an answer.
Boston trails by 5. Outside, George. Good, and it's Jordan picking up the assist. George has got 13 points.
And we know George can score from all 3 levels, which is why he's capable of catching fire.
Now Tatum, he has yet to score. And Paul George gets the 3. And it's a tie ball game.
And what a smooth 3-point shot. George has worked hard to develop that stroke.
And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. And James throws it down.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
A fantastic shooter from deep. George forces defenders out, and then that just opens up the driving lanes for him.
Williamson, the screen. Here's Wall. Pass to James. Williamson from long range. Rebound by Young. And they blow the whistle for a foul. He was trying to disrupt the fast break opportunity. The Celtics shooting their first free throw of the game here. And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
And you know, George is a tough cover. The length, the range, smooth athlete, very difficult to match up with.
Here's George. Up and in on the layup. George has got 21 in the game. Now a timeout called by Miami. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
So both teams changing it up here. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Morant drives in. Six to shoot. Takes a 3. And Boston with the rebound.
Team foul.
The Celtics have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
Known for his incredible defense, Leonard's huge hands and timing really helped make an impact on that end.
Greg, they're in a rhythm offensively, really cooking.
And the opposition looks helpless to stop them right now.
Miami trails by 4. Morant with a wide open look. Miami no good on that time either.
Home team foul.
Greg, as you were saying, beyond the blocks, what makes Anthony Davis special on defense is the way he navigates the floor.
Kevin, most bigs can get picked on in pick-and-roll action. Davis, though, too quick and smart to take advantage of. He can slip screens, hedge, switch, and recover like he's a 3-and-D wing.
Well, all of us coaches, we love when you can create looks in close.
George looking around. Williamson the screen. And George with the stuff.
A good ball handler with an advanced offensive repertoire. George is more than comfortable in the pick and roll.
Second team foul.
Miami trailing. Morant outside. Thompson from long range. It's hauled in by George. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Boston. Over Morant. And it's George missing. Here's Morant. Still yet to score. Screen by Smith. With 4 seconds on the clock. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to be on Zion Williamson. It's his first trip to the line. That's good from Morant. Both free throws good from Morant.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
George from deep three-point land. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Boston. He has really delivered at the offensive end. He's torched them for 24 points so far. We come back right after this. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Now a timeout called by Boston. Timeout called by Boston.
Start it.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Attention fans, now on the court is your Hunt Squad. Get loud.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Start it.
Celtics leading by 3. And now David Aldridge has an update for us on Zion Williamson. David, what's the news?
Well, guys, I had a minute to catch up with the Celtics head athletic trainer. And unfortunately, it sounds pretty serious. But he's already come back into the game. How about that, guy?
David, thanks for checking in. On top of it is all.
It's interesting. Even with the advancements in strength and conditioning, injuries continue to impact the game.
Well, this is a high-impact sport, and the league continues to get bigger and faster.
Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Picked up by Davis. For 3. Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 8 points.
This is why SGA is a focal point of this offense, because of that ability to score.
The shot by George, wide open. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Right side, George. Williamson, the screen. Stolen by Ewing. Now the fast break. Tatum with the ball. The layup missed.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, that's one he'd like to have back. Those are the opportunities you have to convert.
George. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
The length and quickness of George is so difficult to guard against. That really compromises the defense, forcing them to foul.
Miami trails by 4. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. And the foul called on Michael Jordan. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Inside, clock at 4. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
And LeBron used to getting hit. This is the level of attention this man attracts from the D.
And Miami making a change here. And both free throws good for LeBron. And so Jordan will bring it up for Boston. The lead is 2. Outside, George. And it's sent back by George.
And the timing from George there on the rejection, using his long reach to turn away the shot.
The 3 from George. Again, the miss by the Celtics. From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. Here are the Celtics with the ball. George with the ball. Outside, Jordan. Busted. No good that time either. Here's George. And Davis sends it back.
At this point, finding blocks comes naturally for AD. He just anticipates and attacks the basketball.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Outside for George. For the tie. For the lead. Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 11.
Well, it's a three-point shooting league. Guys like him are so important for spacing.
Here's George. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Patrick Ewing.
And guys, George puts pressure on an opponent at both ends of the court. Lockdown D at one, aggressive to get his own at the other.
Miami trailing. Here's Brunson. Kicks it out to LeBron. And a miss there on the triple. And the Celtics with possession here. The 3 from George. And the 3 ball is good. George has got 7 now in this quarter.
And this is the way to stretch the floor. PG-13 with a good look from the corner, and he nails it.
Brunson with a clean look. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And we've reached the end of the third. Celtics lead by 4. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. Here's Brunson. Outside, Wall. Pass to George. Williamson outside. And the dunk by Williamson.
What a move. You do it as well as Zion Williams.
Outside, George.
Home team foul. Jalen Brunson. First personal foul. First team foul.
The first one falls.
At the line for the away team, Paul George. 2.
And George drops them both. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Williamson, the screen. And Gilgeous-Alexander, here we go. And it goes down 2 points.
And he knew the contact was coming. How about that by SGA to take the hit and finish?
Here's George. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Driving to the basket. Kicks it out to Leonard. Fires the three. Trains the three-pointer. Leonard's got the lead up to 5 now for Boston.
And Leonard knows that corner three is an important shot in terms of spacing out the defense.
The shot's good from Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, we talk about ice in his veins a lot, but this guy personifies that. What a clutch shot.
And it's George missing.
Might be time for a little different approach. This shot hasn't been falling here in the second half.
Out to Ewing. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Outside, George. And there's the foul. It'll go on Patrick Ewing. That's his third foul of the game.
Second team foul.
1:53 left in the fourth quarter. And George, here we go. And it's George finishing it off.
And guys, George takes pride in hitting big shots. Just get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Williamson, the screen. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
Gilgeous-Alexander hits them both.
And really the tension could not be higher right now. And he looked like he was shooting free throws at practice. What a cool customer.
Outside, George. Davis down low. Moves back up. Outside for George. And stolen by James. In the corner, George with it. Outside for Gilgeous-Alexander. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. Money.
That is world class.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
And so now a timeout taken by Mike D'Antoni. So both teams making some changes here. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni was talking about with his team. You wouldn't know they were down from what he was talking about. He was positive with the team. He was calm. He said he wanted to keep them focused. It's a pretty good approach, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Just 5 to shoot. Ball.
And you have to appreciate the reach of Ming. Superb at putting himself in a good position there to block the shot. And looking for a very quick shot here.
And then foul, trying to extend that game.
Back to Wall. Yes!
And how about the... conviction to his craft. Wall has trust that his ability will shine through in big moments.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Gets the first. That makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. And it's a 4-point ball game.
No doubt, that just about seals it.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They're down by 4. What do you think we're going to see coming out of this timeout?
An uphill climb. They need everything to break their way.
Well, I'm sure they'll run a play they believe in. If it works, I say try for the steal, and if you don't get it, immediate foul.
The shot by Thompson, and no one's around. 3-pointer. Count it! And that shot brings them to within just 1. 5 seconds left to play here in the 4th. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. So it gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
That was a giant trip to the line.
And it's all about the 3 right here.
Yeah, and when your opponent knows what you need, it makes it that much harder to find an opening.
Here's George. And that's going to do it for regulation. So we are headed to overtime. And we'll be back right after this. Glad to have you with us as we get going in overtime. Neither team giving an inch in this one. And here is Tatum. Right side, George. And that one is good. George has got 43 points.
And definitely a shot George willing to take. His stroke makes it easy work for him.
And it's Gilgeous-Alexander missing. And Boston has possession. A 2-point game. Here's George. It's rebounded by Ewing. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Miami. The shot, no good. Excellent D there from George. Count the basket and the foul. It's going to be on Zion Williamson.
Solid play there from PG. Absorbing the contact, but staying with that shot for the and 1. And that tacks another big point onto the lead. Great and 1 play showing us now a little bit of that killer instinct. Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
And a wide open look for Gilgeous-Alexander. It drops, and he has brought them to within 2 points. On the wing, George. Hit by Yao. Tries again. And can't hit the shot, but they're saying he got hacked, so he'll head to the free throw line.
And the defense knows George can score from there, which is what forces them to kind of compromise at times defensively.
A very successful visit to the line for him. Now this is a two-possession game.
Some young players tend to defer in big moments, not Zion.
And they go to the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
And overtime has come down to this. They need at least 2 points, or you can kiss this baby goodnight. And what a shot from Gilgeous-Alexander. This guy isn't afraid of the moment. Wow.
Now George.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use
Wow.
He knocks down the clutch free throw. And so he drops them both. It's a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, free throws put them in an excellent position to win this thing now. It's all in the hands of the D.
Now a timeout called by Miami. What do you think we're going to see here?
And with under 2 seconds remaining, they need something quick. They don't have time for an extra pass here, but they want to try for a 3 off the inbound play and go for the win. Definitely doable.
The Celtics call time. Guys, what's your take on how they maximize their opportunities now?
And while you want to be aggressive defensively here and contest that catch and shoot jump shot, you also have to be concerned about not fouling the shooter.
The Celtics call time. Thompson for 3. Got it. Oh,
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Timing there.
Woo!
Down it goes at the buzzer. Boy, it doesn't get any better than that.
Unreal. What a finish. Nothing better than a buzzer-beating 3 to win.
and so the big win by Miami in a tight game. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
What a ride. I mean, I thought it might end in regulation, but you know what? They came through big and did exactly what was necessary once we got into OT.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. So now for Greg Anthony, Stan Van Gundy, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.